Today we have with us senior Congress leader, former Union Minister, above all, eminent lawyer, constitutional expert, Mr. Kapil Sibal. We have great honor to have him in this show. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, we should start with the latest development in Delhi. Delhi Lieutenant Governor had issued order to the police to invoke National Security Act starting from January mid to 3 months time for 3 months. Is this the government? Is this clearly spells the government motive to suppress the agitation?
Oh, absolutely, without doubt. You don't expect anything better from this government, because this government cannot face the people. The kind of national crisis, economic crisis that we are in, the levels of unemployment that have not been seen in the last 45 years, the lack of investment, the fact that consumption has gone down by 3%. I mean, levels as far back as 1970, since 1974, this is not happened. So there is a brewing discontent amongst the people of this country. And on top of that, their divisive agenda through the CAA and the NRC, that has disturbed, the equanimity of the people, and therefore, in the light of this agitation, they will adopt fascist methods. And I don't think that you can expect anything better from this government.
But these kind of activities are happening in the capital of the country. The capital of the country is closely watched by the media in and around the world.
No, not just the media, the international
community is also watching.
That's correct. But not only that, the international community has made some very adverse statements against this government and against the CAA. In fact, both Europeans, Chancellor Merkel has said something about them, about the CAA. Then is of course the Human Rights High Commissioner in Geneva has said that this is against the fundamentals of law. Then in Washington, in fact, there is now a divide. Indian foreign policy used to have a bilateral consensus. Now there's a divide. The Democrats are very much against it. And there are moves in the Security Council also. So I think we are losing out on the external affairs front. But of course, internally, I think we are facing a crisis of sorts. And what we will see is only the teeth of this government. We will not have this government have a conversation with the people of this country. I remember when we were in power and things were happening, we set up a committee. Remember the Lokpal bill, the Jan Lokpal bill? We set up actually a committee with the private parties who were agitating. And there was Shanti Bhushan on the one side, Pranab Mukherjee ji was on the other side. I was a member of that committee. Why? Because there was a massive agitation. We were not shying away. We were trying to understand. And remember, this agitation was fueled by the BJP. Even at that time, the RSS and the BJP.
The Anna Hazare movement you are referring to.
Yes, the Anna Hazare movement. And now they've forgotten about the Lokpal bill. Completely. Since 5.5 years, where is the Jan Lokpal bill? In fact, they set up at the end of the 5 years, and now they don't even have they haven't formulated the rules under the. So just as what Modi did in Gujarat, namely never allowed the Lokpal to function, while their party agitated for a Lokpal when we were in power, and now has not allowed the Lokpal to come on board. So this is the kind of politics of this government and of the leadership in Delhi.
In Delhi and UP, the government uses force to suppress the agitation even before invoking the National Security Act.
Right.
We saw huge amount of police atrocities in UP and in Delhi also.
I want to ask, what is the national security issue here? People are agitating about a particular law. The matter is pending in Parliament. Many states, many, I think around 14 to 16 states have already said that this is, according to them, should not be implemented. So why should there be this issue a national security issue? In fact, they are creating a situation where people will have to come out on the streets peacefully. And I've seen the kind of force that has been used against students. It shocks me. It shocks me, it really does, that our country, the biggest democracy in the world, the government of that country is treating these people, our people, as objects of ridicule. I'm sorry, I don't think that this country deserves this government.
I think the situation in Jammu Kashmir has been replicated in Delhi by using this law, isn't it?
Well, not really, because this allows you to arrest somebody, put him under detention for a period of time without any recourse to a court of law. Not that a petition can't be filed.
This law has been used in Jammu Kashmir for a long time, and
no, that's the Public Safety Act.
That's the Public Safety Act.
That's the Public Safety Act, not the NSA.
Yeah.
That's somewhat different.
Yeah,
that's even worse, because there you are a summary procedure and you can convict people.
Switching out to Kerala, here is a tussle going on between the governor and the government. Governor severely criticizing the chief minister, saying that the government moving Supreme Court without the permission of the governor is illegal, or it is...
Please ask the governor under which provision of the constitution is this government obliged to seek the consent of the governor of Kerala for the purposes of taking decisions with respect to a central law. Under which provision? Just ask him.
Governor says the governor quotes the rules of business for the government to function, and he says that once there is an issue between central and state, and if that issue is to be questioned in the Supreme Court or any other court, the state government has to seek the permission.
He is wrong. That particular rule of business, I don't know which rule he is pointing to, but I have studied many rules of business in several states. It's when the state legislature passes a law which is contrary to a law passed by Parliament, and he believes it is contrary, and the law goes to the governor for ratification. It is at that point in time that he can say that I believe there is a conflict, and he can refer that matter to the President of India. That's the only discretion he has. I think he better read the Constitution a little more carefully, and maybe he'll then, or he should consult some legal luminaries in Delhi to reach conclusions like this. But I'm afraid that this is pure politics, and he is doing it to destabilize the equanimity prevailing here.
But the governor says that he is about to seek a report from the state government on this issue. How you people are...
No, I don't know what the state government... Your state government should seek legal advice. Whether he seeks a report, whether that report will be given or not, is something for the state government to decide. I don't want to comment on it. But all that I can say is that the governor is not constitutionally right when he says that when a law is challenged, or for that matter a resolution is passed in the assembly, the consent of the governor is necessary constitutionally. I don't think it's right.
After the passage of CAB in the both houses of the parliament and the consent of the president, a lot of protests are going on in many parts of the country, and in Kerala also there is huge amount of protest is in the street. By that time, governor starts saying about the protests, about the government position, about the Kerala legislature passing a resolution to say that CAA to be withdrawn. Governor is criticizing a lot of things in Kerala.
As I said, that this is, according to me, a constitutional misdemeanor. See, if the governor has any reservations, constitutionally what is done, he will call the chief minister and he will ask the government of the day to explain to him in what circumstances these decisions have been taken. That's all that his role is, right? Or if the central government seeks a report from him, he can send a report to the central government as to the situation prevailing here. But he cannot openly criticize. He cannot openly give his views. He cannot castigate the steps taken by the government of the day in respect of any matter. Forget about the CAB can be converted into the CAA and the protest in Kerala. He is a silent spectator, right, to ensure that the government performs its functions in accordance with the Constitution, right? And there is no constitutional breakdown. Only when there is a constitutional breakdown does the governor has the right to send a report to the central government for the imposition of president's rule. That's all that his role is. But I think that he is exceeding his constitutional limits.
But he repeatedly says that it is his constitutional duty to protect the Constitution, and he is doing...
How does he protect the Constitution? Can he file a proceeding in the court of law as a governor to protect the Constitution? Can he file a writ petition? Ask him. What's the point of making these statements? These are statements without applying your mind. He should apply his mind. What is his constitutional duty? His constitutional duty is to act as a governor, namely to oversee what's happening in the state and as and when a report is called for, or he can suo moto send periodic reports to the central government about the situation. But he cannot take a position on what's happening. That way every governor in every state, if appointed by the BJP, will start criticizing that you will destabilize the entire federal structure of this country. And I think that, and the problem is that the central government is encouraging him to do that. The problem is that the BJP has no presence in Kerala. The problem is that he has been sent here only for that purpose.
But he says that the Citizenship Amendment Act has been passed by the Parliament. The state government has no role to play in that law.
So we have challenged it. He has challenged. We have challenged it. The state government has also challenged it, rightly or wrongly. That the Supreme Court will decide. If they have objections, they should move Supreme Court. Central government should move Supreme Court. That the state government has no right to challenge it. The Supreme Court will decide. Who is the governor to decide? See, a law which is passed in Parliament or in the Assembly can be valid, can be invalid, right? The Parliament or the State Assembly doesn't decide on the constitutional validity of the law.
It is the Supreme Court.
It is for the court to decide. It passes a law, right? If the governor feels, and he should ask his conscience, he should not be acting at the instance of the powers that be in New Delhi. If he feels that there is something wrong, he can send a report, to silent report. He can write to the union government. Union government can object to the filing of the 131 proceedings in Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will decide. It's very simple. It's not complicated at all.
During the CAB discussion in Parliament, the Congress and the opposition parties have vehemently opposed the provisions in the law, and also the how it violates the constitutional values is clearly described in the Parliament. Now you people are going to the court saying that this is constitutionally invalid, or it violates the constitutional values and the principles, and you are fighting for that in the court. But there is a fight going on in the streets. Students, youths, some other people who thought about the secular democracy are also fighting in the street. At present, the political parties are in the back seat of this.
Well, I'm glad about it.
Yeah,
I think it is a people's movement.
Yeah, it is.
And for the Prime Minister to say that, look, it is a Congress movement or something like that, is again he's trying to politicize the issue. This is a pure people's movement. The students are at the forefront of it. The middle class is behind it. The lower middle class is behind it. Political parties are also behind it, but it's not led by somebody. It's not led by a political party. And I'm happy that that is so, because it only shows that this has nothing to do with politics. This is truly a movement where the people of this country are concerned about the consequences of the CAA once it is put into operation.
But this should be converted into a political movement, isn't it?
It should be is another thing. It is not. Whether it should be, what form, what shape it takes, what form it takes, only time will tell. But at the moment, it is not a political movement. It is supported by politics. It is supported by political parties, but is led by young people in this country.
I'm asking you that it is now supported by the political parties, but at a time comes the political parties should take the lead of this.
You are now giving me a value statement that should take the lead. What time they should take the lead, when the lead should be taken, how it is to be taken, whether it is to be taken at all or not. These are only events in the next few months will decide.
I'm asking you about the future of this agitation.
I'm also telling you about the future. Decisions of political parties will be based on the quality of this movement as it moves forward, while we support it.
But Congress is taking some steps to unite the opposition parties against this law.
So, yes, nothing wrong with
NRC.
that. Yes.
But some parties, especially DMK, an ally of Congress in UPA.
No, I think that you're making too much of it. Actually, Mamta also did not come, DMK
BSP
did
is
not
also
come,
the
BSP
AAP did
It doesn't matter, but they are all against the law. They are themselves against the law. So whether they have joined the Congress party at this moment or not, doesn't mean that the opposition is divided. It only means that the opposition parties are not together on the same platform, but they are still against the law.
That is my question. They are opposing the law, but they are not joining hands to.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Mamta will oppose it in West Bengal, no? We'll oppose it here. We'll oppose it all over the country because we are the only national party. DMK will oppose it in Tamil Nadu. Others will oppose it in the various states. Nothing wrong with that.
But a joint platform to oppose the
But
government.
that's politics, you know. Over a period of time, what will happen will be seen by others. Now you're wanting me to make a statement which I'm not willing to make. You can keep asking the question. I'm not going to make that statement.
No. I'm not. I'm not demanding a statement on that thing.
You are. You are.
I'm quoting from you because one of your talks saying that the government is not listening to the people.
That's right. But
not listening to the
that's
people.
nothing to do with your question.
It is clear.
Yes.
It is clear. The government is not listening to the people. To compel a government to listen to people, there should be a political force. There should be a political movement.
I don't think. Was it the political movement when we listened to? It was the people's movement, even when the Anna Hazare movement was on.
But it is a different party.
It may have been fueled. It may have been correct, but it may have been fueled by politics. So let the movement move forward. Let's see what happens. Let's not jump the gun. There's a battle to be fought, and we'll fight it together. Not to worry.
But here in Kerala, we saw a different picture. To start with the agitation, the opposition leader Ramesh Chennithala asked the chief minister to for a joint protest, and it happened. Then came a difference of opinion from Congress itself. Actually, Ramesh Chennithala himself started the call for a joint protest, but then came the difference of opinion from the Congress. This scenario seems to be giving opportunity for the Sangh Parivar for arguing that the political parties are
this is just an argument by the government. You see, on the local side as to what Ramesh said, what he did not say, I don't want to comment because I am not completely familiar with what statements were made, not made. It would not be right for me to comment on it. But the fact of the matter is that we are both opposed. We are both opposed to the CAA, and each party is taking its own position. At the national level, it's only the Congress that can move forward, because Congress is the only national party. The CPM, of course, is an important ally in this movement, but the CPM has no presence at the national level. So therefore, ultimately, you will have to, all political parties will have to consider, if a national movement is to move forward, to take advantage of the fact that the Congress is the only national party which will have to take this movement forward, and everybody should come together. Now, that may take a bit of time, but I think let the movement move forward and let this government commit more and more mistakes of the nature they are committing, like imposing an NSA. Let's see what happens.
Delhi is going for an election.
Yes.
There is a chance for an alliance between Congress and AAP, but it doesn't materialize.
No, we've not allied with them at all. And I
not allied, but there is a possibility of an alliance, is there, isn't it?
I don't know. Let's see what the outcome of the result is. I don't know what the possibility
is. But if there is an alliance, the BJP could be made to a lesser position.
There's no point speculating. See what may happen in Maharashtra. Could anybody speculate that Uddhav will come and that all three of us will join together? So let's not just jump the gun. Let the results come, then we'll talk about, then I'll come, you call me back to Kerala and I'll answer your questions, or you come to Delhi.
No, I'm not talking about the post-poll scenario.
So pre-poll there is no question.
In last Lok Sabha elections.
No question.
No question of understanding.
No question of any understanding with AAP on this. The AAP has been very quiet about the CA. Did the AAP go to Jamia Millia when protests were taking place? Has the Chief Minister gone to the Jawaharlal Nehru University when students were being attacked, physically attacked and injured? He's playing it both ways. In fact, the message in Delhi is that he is trying to take a middle road so that he doesn't lose the votes of a section of the society. So I don't think we accept that position. We are against CAA, we are openly against CAA, and if AAP doesn't want to be openly against, the people of Delhi know what AAP's position is.
But I am referring to the past Lok Sabha elections. If there would be an alliance, there would be better result in Delhi, isn't it?
I don't know why. They won seats in the last. You mean the Lok Sabha election?
Yeah,
that was a Modi wave. You know that. How many seats did they get? So that alliance would have made no difference. Look at the percentage of votes you got. So I don't think that factually what you're saying is right. No alliance would have made any difference. Made no difference in the rest of India.
A picture of opposition unity could have changed something into their...
There's opposition unity in many other places, but the BJP won hands down. So I think that 2019 was another election, kind of election altogether. So let's not sort of, and the vote share of the BJP was much higher, but see, it's gone down radically now.
But do we change any scene in the political situation after the protests being...
Well, I think so. I think the fact that they have been losing state after state, and I think they will also not be able to form government in Delhi. That's my own belief, that the BJP will be nowhere. They've lost, they did very badly in Haryana, contrary to the pollsters. And this is despite the fact that these television channels they are all Godi media, right? And then of course in Maharashtra, see what happened, Chhattisgarh what happened, Rajasthan what happened, Madhya Pradesh what happened, now recently Jharkhand. So where is this Moji magic hasn't worked, it just...
Punjab Assembly has been passing a resolution demanding the CAA should be withdrawn. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh governments will follow the suit?
I don't know, that's for the party to decide and for those governments to decide. Why would party? It's the government of the state which will decide what will happen in the assembly. But you'll have to ask them.
But Congress party should have, will have some...
You'll find out. Nothing happens, this is not an orchestra. I mean, when you want to listen to music, then of course you go to an orchestra and everybody sort of plays the music at the same time. But politics, people play music at different times. So the assemblies will decide what to do.
But the Congress already told that NPR will not be implemented in the Congress ruled states. It is
what has that got to do with the resolution?
No, I'm talking about the. I'm talking once again about the common platform emerging.
As I said to you, the Congress has decided to oppose this tooth and nail, the CAA, the NRC, the NPR. And I'm sure that if the Congress party has decided, I'm sure the chief ministers will take positions consistent with the position of the Congress party, because they are Congress government.
There is a struggle going on in the streets, and for supporting, the Congress is also supporting the struggle.
We've been going to Shaheen Bagh, our people went to JNU.
I know it.
So we are supporting in every possible way.
But the Congress ruled states should take more steps, isn't it?
They are taking. There are lots of agitations in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, lots of them. Please look at the...
I'm not talking about the agitation. I'm talking
about support. There's a lot of support. Please go to YouTube. You'll find a lot of support. It's that it's not the Congress party which is at the forefront. Neither is any other political party at the forefront. But it's a people's movement. That is why.
I'm referring to Ramachandra Guha. He talked about Congress party. He says the reason behind the emergence of Hindutva is the corruption of Congress party.
Well, I think that requires either you make a charge against me and I can respond. But I mean, if Ramachandra Guha makes that statement, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to? I mean, somebody should tell me which is that. I was in the ministry. I was in several.
No, the corruption charges against the UPA first and.
What is the corruption? Has anybody been convicted?
No. Nobody been convicted. I'm talking about the charges or accusations.
You can make any accusation. Even Kejriwal made accusation against every minister of this government, and then what happened? He apologized, didn't he?
Yeah.
Criminal proceedings were filed against him. He had to give a written apology. So you can make any charge you want to make. But you must be on the basis of some facts.
But that kind of a situation, a lot of allegations are coming out, that kind of a situation, and the government is trying to defend all these allegations.
There is a difference between that government, that is the UPA 2, and this government. This government has captured the CBI. They have their own RSS people or RSS like-minded people, the ED, the income tax, and the media. Right?
Yeah.
Now, we never did that. So, if you capture all the channels of information, then how does it reach people? How does corruption reach people? We did not do it. Therefore, they are able to hide all this. I mean, if there is the Birla diary, as you know, there is the Sahara diary, where people's names are mentioned. Had this been Congress party, there would have been, hell would have broken loose by now. Right? There are many other instances of corruption which are in front of people's eyes. But the question is that nobody investigates. Why? Because they control the investigating agencies. But people know. In fact, people tell me that the levels of corruption are much higher than they ever were.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
courtesy Big Shot, SM Street, Calicut.